a couple of months now, you might have noticed that I uploaded a video titled Too Old for Barbie, where I just talked about, not being too old for Barbie and, what are all the reasons for that, and just defending our love for Barbie and other older people's love for Barbie. And in this video, I've actually had this planned for months. I really want to defend Barbie herself because, as you know, Barbie is beloved by many, many people, but she has also received her share of ridicule basically ever since she was created. And we have ranted about this to ourselves, to each other, for years, ever since we love Barbie, and even before that with Bratz. So we just want to come on here and set the record straight and just talk about some things that people always say about Barbie, and just kind of really put an arrow through those arguments, really, I guess, and yeah, just defend our queen. So yeah.
So, one of the first points, and it's probably the biggest point that surrounds Barbie and her criticisms, is her weight. They always say she's too skinny, she's too unrealistic, she has, that tiny waist, and she has, extremely long legs, and, even people say about her feet, they're not realistic because she always wears high heels. Everything about her is unrealistic, apparently. So
yeah, we just really want to talk about, because one, the whole unrealistic thing, she's a doll. Okay, let's just put that out there. Dolls, they're not really meant to be, they're plastic, they're not meant to be that realistic. And my biggest problem with people that are constantly saying, oh, Barbie is too skinny, is one, these are the people that are constantly talking about body shaming, and yet, isn't saying someone is too skinny, one, that's also body shaming by your logic. And then I never thought that Barbie was that skinny.
I know. On all dolls, we never looked at them and thought oh, I never looked at Barbie and thought, oh, she's so skinny, I have to be skinny. As a kid, and I'm assuming Shannon probably felt this as well, because we were both bullied as kids and we didn't have a lot of friends, so one of the things I first thought is, am I fat? But I didn't say, am I fat because Barbie's skinny or Bratz are skinny and I'm not skinny like them? I just thought, am I fat because I look at maybe my other classmates or something? Or the biggest thing is you look at the celebrities in the media.
Mm-hmm.
Back then everyone watched TV, right? A lot more than these days, and music videos were huge, and you'd always see all these pop stars and stuff that was so skinny. I was more likely to compare myself to pop stars and people on TV and in movies and all that I never compared myself to a Barbie doll.
Here. I could not agree with that more, and that's something we really want to go deeper on, is how children don't look at Barbie and think they have to look like her. But before I get more into that, I just want to say, one, Barbie is not too skinny. Let's just say that she is not too skinny. She's just a normal, healthy looking woman. I mean, in comparison to a lot of other, doll body shapes, she actually probably has the most realistic, closest to a human. But I think it's the people that are constantly saying, oh, she's too skinny, and she thinks that little girls think they have to look skinny. You're the ones that are too obsessed with body image and body shapes, and that you're putting that onto a doll, because little children, little girls, don't think that way.
And that's the thing. It's adults that are doing this.
Exactly, because
it comes back to adults always making the problems with any kind of toy or any kind of TV show or movie or whatever it is. It's always adults that start the problem.
Yeah.
With anything, body shapes, hair colors, skin colors, their personalities, their sexualities, it always comes down to adults making problems.
Yeah,
As
exactly.
kids, we just played with dolls. Dolls were just dolls.
Yeah, exactly.
My dolls were all in high school, and they were in school just like me, and that's how I played with them. They joined cheerleading clubs, and they made music groups and stuff. They were just dolls. They weren't this doll wears pink, why does she wear pink? She should be blue, why do girls only blue? That's another argument, I never thought she's too skinny, or she doesn't show she can have a sexuality, or she don't show that she can be a tomboy. They were just dolls. Thing is, kids have something that adults don't have, and it's called imagination. We just imagined them to be whatever we wanted them to be. If they wanted to join a football team, then they did. If they wanted to be like this, then they did.
Yeah.
It's adults that make the problem of, we need to make dolls that are fatter, or we need to make dolls that are thinner, or we need to make them with this shape and this style and this colour and this everything. That all started with adults. I put white feet on my dark-skinned dolls and I didn't see any difference. I didn't see any colour in the dolls. I didn't see any big deal, but it's just adults that have started all these problems.
Definitely, everything comes back to that at the end, because adults are the ones that are extremely obsessed with how someone looks, and that is all you care about, and that is extremely superficial. And children are not superficial, and we know that because we know what it's like to be children. We actually remember what it's like. We never once looked at Barbie, Bratz, or anything. We'll talk about Bratz in another video, but this one's for Barbie. We never looked at her and thought, I have to look like her in any way, especially body shape. Because that's never what Barbie is about at all. Barbie's not even about looks. Yeah, she's a fashion doll, but it's not about that. But we'll get more into that soon. But again, just seeing how we looked at her as kids, I mean, never once. And you can ask any Barbie fan who's older now, even ask any little girl, but you probably shouldn't, because, you're going to put that into their heads. And that's what adults do. You put it into their heads that they have to look a certain way, because that's all you care about. That's all you care about is looks. But kids don't care about that. They see what Barbie really is and what she was always meant to be. There was never this hidden agenda with Mattel and Barbie to, we must make little girls think they have to look like this. No, it was always, dolls are just
inspiring imagination.
Exactly.
That's what Barbie's always been about, just inspiring their imaginations, that maybe they can't be, a certain career or do a certain activity when they're kids or dress like this, but they can use their dolls, and that inspires them. They can play with them, and they can play with dolls and create any story or imagination that's in their heads with their dolls.
Exactly. Dolls were always meant to be for fun and to help girls imagine. And I mean, obviously dolls have existed for a while, but Barbie is this brand new invention, and she's one of the greatest inventions of all time. She has stood the test of time. She has been with so many girls through their childhoods, and she's still with us today. And again, like Katie said, she was never about the looks. So you really need to, okay, one, Barbie's not too skinny. She's a normal, healthy looking woman, and all that kind of stuff. And when it comes to she's fake because she has a lot of things, or she, has all these clothes or whatever. And the thing is, little girls like to dress up. That's just a fact. I mean, maybe they can also like to play with cars. I did.
It's like they're influenced by their parents, because they see their parents dress up and look nice, and they think, I don't want to dress up and look nice. And they see like actual celebrities dress up and look nice. It's not just seeing like, this doll, and I have to copy exactly what this doll does.
Yeah, little girls like to dress up, and they like to look nice. As women, it's in you naturally. From the moment that you're conscious, you want to dress up and you want to look nice. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with wanting to look nice as a woman. But Barbie never told us we had to look a certain way. But with us, she definitely inspired us. When it comes to looks at all, Barbie inspires us in so many other ways. It's not about looks at all. But if you want to talk about looks, then she would be there to inspire us to look our best, but the best for us. Not look like her, not look like this other person, whatever. Just look the best that we can for us. And another thing is that people talk, Barbie's such a bad influence and she makes girls want to be anorexic or whatever it is. And I think that no, it is people that make girls feel that way. And I mean,
it really is. I mean, like, I look back at all my weight problems I've had through high school, and my body issues and my body self-esteem. It's always come from my classmates, or comparing myself to real life people. I've never compared myself to a doll. These problems never come from a doll. I've never had any problems in my life. Have never come from a doll. In fact, dolls have been the problem solvers in our life. When we need to be picked up, inspired, happy, confident. We watch a Barbie movie. We turn to Barbie and we think about, we watch her vlogs or a TV show, and we get inspired again, and we feel confident. If we're feeling not great in our own body, if we're not feeling great in how we look or our hair or our face or anything, Barbie just gives us that confidence that, just rock who you are and it's okay.
Exactly. And that's what she's always been about, is she's never been about look this way. Yeah, she has lots of different fashions and stuff like that, but that's based on all of her careers that she has. I mean, there's a Barbie for everything. There's a Barbie for every career. There's a Barbie for every time in history. There's a Barbie for every occasion. Just everything. There's always a Barbie, and that's fun. And little girls love to use their imaginations. Little girls love to dress up. There's nothing wrong with that. But again, I just want to sort of close this part and then go into another part, is that little girls don't look at Barbie and think they have to look like her. And just let me say, if any girl looks at a doll and turns anorexic or feels like she has to put a bunch of things in her face or whatever it is, or just look a certain way, you kind of have problems if you think you have to look like a doll.
And you're missing the point of the doll as well.
Exactly, because
the whole point of like what Barbie is supposed to inspire. Yeah,
the doll was never meant for that. You're just projecting really your own insecurities and blaming a doll for that. That's kind of pathetic, let's be honest. I mean, we all have insecurities, especially as women. I mean, we still do. But the thing is, that never comes from Barbie. If anything, we are more confident now. Any confidence we sort of have is because of the dolls that we love and because of Barbie. And it's got nothing to do with how she looks. And if a girl thinks, I keep saying this, but if a girl thinks that she has to look like a doll, she has issues, and you can blame that sort of on herself, but also on society and the people that are around her constantly saying you have to look this way and you have to be this, because Barbie never did that. That is celebrities. That is so many people. That's another thing I want to go in now, is people say, oh, I'm so righteous, I'm not going to get my little girl a Barbie. But yet you let your children, give them their iPads and stuff these days, and you let them follow celebrities, singers, actresses, Instagram models, probably the worst. And you let them see these people, and these are the people that are all about image. They are all about how they look. Constantly their Instagram is just their face or their body. And so many girls can look at that and think, well, I don't look like that, and they can do really dramatic things to themselves to look like that. Because in a day and age of, you can look however you want. People say that, but then these people are still glorified in the media. They still act like this is what you're meant to look like, despite what they say.
With especially Instagram influencers, I'm just going to say one that we totally both agree with. The Kardashians is such a huge, huge, powerful impact these days in all social media and in the society around that.
Yeah, they're worshipped.
By
and everyone. For what?
By so many young people. Like, you'll be surprised. You think, like, how would they even, like, they do know them. Young people do know, and they follow these girls, and they're like, I'm sorry, in our opinions, you think whatever you want to think, they are really fake. And they're all about their cosmetics, their makeup, because they all have makeup brands. They're all about that. They're all about their fashions and plasticness and big lips and big ass and big everything, right? And how is that any better? How is it better to let your little girls follow girls like this rather than playing with a Barbie doll? A Barbie doll that's dressed up as a scientist or dressed up as an engineer. Dressed up as a fireman. Yeah. How is it better that you don't give your girl you can do anything? You can do anything, Barbie. That's what they're labeled. You can do anything, and they're dressed as all these professions, anything you want to be. How is it better to restrict them from playing with those dolls? But here's an iPad, and you can follow people like the Kardashians and 1,000,001 other wannabes, and you can follow them and follow their makeup and plasticness and all that other stuff. Like, how is that better?
Yeah, exactly. And think about that. And I think the reason why you let your kids watch these type of people and follow these type of people is because you yourselves idolize them. They are idolized in society, and that just shows how superficial society still really is. Like I said, even, women are more than their looks, and you can look however you want. It's so hypocritical. They don't practice what they preach at all, and they continue to idolize these people and let your children what do you think your children are going to become just looking at that? It is important for children to have good role models growing up, and even into their teens, especially in teens, because that's when you get the most insecure. And when I found Barbie at 13, 14, so I didn't even have her growing up. See, Barbie's not even a nostalgic thing for me. I mean, we had Barbies growing up, Barbie dolls, but we didn't really start idolizing Barbie until we were teenagers. And so
we needed her the most.
Yeah, exactly. We needed her the most then, and we never felt insecure by a doll. It was always by people. I mean, for many years I struggled with my weight, and I was bullied for that, and that was a major insecurity of mine. And it was always people that made me feel bad about that, and it was always comparing myself to other people.
For our style, because we had some pretty bad styles, I will admit now, but we were still discovering who we were. But we were bullied for that. But someone like Barbie, even if she was to look at our style in her head, think, like, oh, what are you wearing? Like, she'd still be like, it's okay, just be you, rock who you are. If you want to dress up country, like, it's okay. You want to overdress for every single occasion, that's okay.
Yeah, exactly. Because Barbie, again, it's never about looks. And like Katie said, it's always been, you can be anything. That is Barbie's message, even before it was the tagline. It's always been, you can be anything. And even the Barbies that dress up just in a nice evening gown or a nice ball dress or being a princess. There's nothing wrong with that. And that inspires imagination, and it helps you believe, you know, I think it's important to have fantasy as a child.
Yeah.
It's important to believe in fairy tales and to have dreams, and that's what Barbie has always been
The
about.
other thing is, your imagination is at its most vulnerable when you're a kid.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when you actually believe that those things exist. Like, there are like Rapunzels out there and princesses out there and castles and stuff like that, because they do believe in magical stuff. It's only when we get invaded by the horrors of reality when we're adults. I wish I could go back to those nostalgic innocent times.
Yeah.
And I think kids just need to dream and use their imagination. Now their imaginations are dead because their imaginations are killed with technology.
Mm-hmm. And again, the whole "you can be anything" thing is very important for girls to have. I think the Barbie is the best friend any girl can ever have. Not just as a girl either, growing into your teens, and as we're adults now. And Barbie means more to us than ever before. She was there for us through our extremely what was the word for them? Extremely insecure teenage years of finding ourselves. You know, I look back on some years where I was just not a very happy person, and I was trying to find myself and that kind of stuff. And then I started watching Barbie, and I'll start writing down all the lyrics from the movies, and just slowly she started to come into our lives and help us love ourselves and help us to dream. And that's another thing, is that kids don't dream these days. And what is out there to encourage them to dream? This is why we love Barbie so much, because she is just this constant positivity, this ray of light in our lives, and when our lives are just so dark. And you look around the world, I look around at the world these days and I just get depressed. I really do. I just hate the world. I hate the way people are. No one has any dreams, no one anything like that. And my dreams die when I look at the world and that kind of thing, or when I go on social media and stuff like that, and I see other celebrities and all they are about is their looks, and no one has any substance. There's no one out there providing this positive influence to girls, positive in every way. We're not just talking about body image here, okay? But we've already covered that. Barbie never affected girls' body image. If she did, it was in a positive way. But she's out there. Barbie is the encapsulation of everything that is positive and good. And I think especially when you watch the movies, you will know this. But the thing is, people always still complain. I have heard some people watch the movies and they're just there. They're out ready to pick something to judge, ready to think, oh, Barbie has a love interest.
That's so common in today's society. Everyone has love interests. Everyone has boyfriends or girlfriends or crushes. That's natural human instinct. I guarantee girls are going to develop crushes when like 10 or 11 without the influence of Barbie.
Yeah, exactly.
The thing is, if you actually took a look at the messages in the Barbie movies, more specific, even just the actual specific quote messages, they're inspiring enough. But the actual story that Barbie always teaches us about bravery and confidence and believing in yourself and friendship, adventure, and all that sort of stuff. Her songs, the lyrics that she writes about.
If you looked into these things without your judgment caps on, without waiting, just looking for something to judge, looking for something to find, aha, there's something wrong, or Barbie has a love interest, so she's not independent.
The thing is, like, her love interest is always so minute. Normally the love and all that develops at the very last 5 to 10 minutes of the movie. And the rest of the other 70 minutes of the movie are based on Barbie doing something for someone else. Or normally it's all about helping others, right? Like, she's always trying to help rescue other people, or help save her town or her village, or, you know, just be free and, you know, create freedom and defeat the bad guy, right? It's always about that. It's never about, I have to get to my love interest. She's never had a single movie about love interests.
Yeah, exactly.
It's always been about helping others, or, you know, trying to grow herself.
She teaches us bravery. My favourite Barbie movie is one like, you are braver than you think. That is a very simple quote, but it comes back to me all the time.
Yeah, we think about it all the time. Whenever we do anything, you're braver than you think.
I mean, because I am someone that I deal with a lot of fear and anxiety, and so when that I just think about that. I just look at Barbie. I'll watch that movie. I'll just look at the quote and I just remember, you're braver than you think. Barbie comes back to me to remind me that I'm braver than I think. And it's not just in that movie, but it's in all the movies, because she's always brave. She's always having to face bad guys and overcome her own insecurities. And that's the thing, in the movies, Barbie has her own insecurities, but she pushes through them, and she teaches you how to be brave, how to believe in yourself, believe in your dreams, how to actually dream. Because that's so important. Like I said, we look at the world and our dreams die. I mean, what is it like for little girls these days? And as teenagers especially, you get into you don't have dreams anymore. You just want to be like everyone else. And then you're an adult, basically the same. You're just a robot. You're doing the same things. But Barbie, again, I get so depressed when I look at the world. Then I watch a Barbie movie and we feel inspired. We always, like, every week I come over here with Kate and we watch a Barbie movie. Just lifts our spirits so much. And Barbie, I'm just so inspired to see the world the way that she sees it. And because sometimes
she makes her to be a better person.
She does. She has made us better people.
How kind she is to everyone. Like, that's another thing. She's kind to everyone that she meets. Like, whether she knows them or not, whether they might be irritating or not. Like, we look at Life in the Dream House and Chelsea just annoys us so much. But Barbie's so patient and kind to everyone.
Yeah.
Even the people that hate her, she tries to show patience and kindness.
Yeah, and that's, again, that's another thing. So she teaches us to be brave. She teaches
like
us to
in
be
Mary
kind.
Poppins and the Fairy Princess. The villain actually was someone that just needed help and was actually a really poor person. And Barbie tried to show that kindness to them and that compassion and actually find out their real story.
Exactly, and that's something a lot of people say that they are like. I mean, I know even us, we can't say that we're often like that. Sometimes we really just don't like some people, and that's fine. But Barbie was constantly teaching us about kindness, and she's just so sweet and loving and gentle and giving. I think I was saying this to my brother the other day, actually. I was going on this rant, because we go on this rant all the time, just constantly, just people saying this stuff about Barbie. I was just saying, Barbie to me is the encapsulation of all that is good and pure in the world. She, all the virtues that Barbie holds within her, and like, you really see it in the movies, but you don't have to, because people can judge the movies anyway. You can just see the doll and what it's always meant to be. Listen to the songs, read books, watch it look like. Barbie is just everything that is good and pure and right. And she's everything that we want to be, and that's got nothing to do with how she looks. And little girls see that. Little girls are not superficial.
Yeah.
They see the things in Barbie that you're meant to see. Anything else is just made up from your heads because you're obsessed with body image. Barbie is much more than that. She's all these good things. She is kindness, she is loyalty, she is bravery, she is generosity, she is all of these things. Also, she teaches us the values of friendship.
Yeah, well, just before you finish on that, I was just going to say, she doesn't always say she's perfect either. Like, she admits when she's not. Especially in Perfect Christmas, we see it, the movie. Like, when she thinks that she can always make everything perfect, she realizes she can't. And then she's able to admit her own weaknesses too. So she's able to admit, I'm not a perfect person. And I can also admit that I'm not a perfect person.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't have everything always all together. And I can't always do everything on my own, and I do need help from others.
Exactly. And I think that was in one of the puppy adventure movies too, I think, where we just love that scene so much, where Barbie just kind of breaks down and she's like, I can't, I can't fix this. I can't fix everything. I just don't know what to do. And that's relatable.
Yeah,
that's more relatable than
I'm like. I break down every day saying I don't know what to do.
I know, me too. But yet she's so inspiring in that way. And she tells you it's okay to reach out for help. And it's okay to not have it all together. And people...
To rely on others, it's okay.
And people constantly put that on Barbie, like, oh, Barbie's so perfect. If you want a perfect girl, then get by Barbie. I hate that so much.
She also admits she's not perfect.
Yeah, she isn't. Just because she's a pretty doll doesn't mean she's meant to be perfect.
And she says this in her vlogs too. Like, she always admits when she has her bad days.
Yeah, exactly. And Barbie talks about things like depression and everything in her vlogs. And just some days she wakes up and she just doesn't feel good. She just tells you that that's okay. I really love the vlogs. I'm glad that they exist today. So little girls, constantly on their iPads or on YouTube and stuff, actually have something positive to watch. Because, again, we talk about how much of a great influence Barbie is, and she's all these good things put into one, all these virtues that she holds, all the values that she teaches us, again, the values of friendship, like I was saying. No one talks about that. No one talks about the values of friendship. No one cares.
People are so lonely these days. People don't have friends.
Yeah.
When you
no
leave
one knows
high
how to
school,
have
you
friends.
definitely don't have friends because people don't make friends with
No
each
one knows
other.
how to treat each other well. But Barbie's constantly, she's always supporting her friends and always lifting them up and talking about the values of friendship. And
She's always trying to be like her most constructive and kind to them, like in Dreamhouse Adventures when she was trying. Was it Teresa?
I think it was Renee.
Renee. She was trying to help Renee find her skill, and she was also trying to be constructive and kind to her and like gentle and letting her down, like, you're not good at this. But she's always trying her best to build up her friends. Okay, you're not good at this, but there's still so many more things you are good at. You'll just say that at the end of the day, you're just a good person in yourself. She's always building up her friends. But she also shows friendships can't always be perfect when she fights with her friend in, they get separated in Diamond Castle, but they still come back at the end and they can both admit that we were both wrong in ourselves, but we still, like, they can fix their friendship. So many people just discard friendships these days.
Yes, exactly. People just give up that easily. And, we know that friendships take work and they take humility and building each other up and being there for each other and admitting when you're wrong and all these kinds of things. And that's the kind of stuff that people aren't taught these days. People as teenagers and adults don't know these things. They're not taught that as kids. No one's teaching their kids these things these days. Everyone, girls are just constantly bitching at each other, constantly tearing each other down.
We live in a world where we have to just tear each other down. No one builds each other up anymore.
Yeah, exactly. And this is the age of women empowerment, right?
And even when you're friends with each other, friends tear other girls down when they are friends and they gossip about others. And Barbie's never like that. She never gossips, she never tears down other people. They're always just pure, wholesome friends, but just don't exist in this world.
Yeah, and so all these things that Barbie shows us and that she is, it's kind of sad that we don't have that anywhere else. She's a fictional character. She's a doll. And yet we get all this stuff from her. Little girls can get all these lessons learned from her. I mean, yeah, we have people that we look up to. Thankfully, there are some people that are decent in this world. But Barbie, I always think about, okay, who are your biggest role models? Who are your biggest idols, the people that you love the most? Barbie. Straight off the bat, she feels like a real person to us. And, I think about, who am I going to invite to my wedding one day? Barbie. It's just
like, but she feels like she exists because she's such a huge part of our life.
Yeah, exactly. And we really wish she did, because she's the type of person that you just want as your friend. And we're just so glad that she was created, and that and I think, again, like I said, every little girl should have her in her lives. Shouldn't have to grow out of her. There's no such thing as too old for Barbie, because I think that teenagers and adults also have a lot, and maybe even more than children, to learn, because at least children still dream. Maybe they're not superficial like we talked about.
But her lessons they change their meaning to you all the time as you grow older.
Yeah.
Like when we first discovered her, we were in a different place and dealing with different issues. And now we're older. We still have issues, but they're completely different to what when we first discovered. But we still take the same inspiration from Barbie.
Yeah, exactly. She's still there constantly, and she's going to be there through all these different stages of our lives, because her messages, they stand the test of time. That's why Barbie has lasted this long, and she's classic, and the messages, they're eternal, and they are real values that we should try to obtain. Every girl should try to be like Barbie, and if I just said that without any of this other stuff, you can bet all the offense that would be, oh my gosh, it's like, you're saying that you should be plastic and this skinny. Like, look at who she actually is, and stop for once. Just stop looking at how someone looks, and look at who she is and what she represents in this world.
Look at her heart.
Yeah, exactly. What she
represents. Her heart
is
so good.
It is everything. She is the good in the world. She's just the force of good in this world, and there's not much of that in the world. The world is dark today, and the world is sad, and there's so many things. And I feel that. We both feel that, and it's really hard to sort of have positive thoughts these days and to keep your dreams alive. When we watch Barbie movies, they help us keep our dreams alive. And she, there's the Barbie movie quote from The Three Musketeers, which is probably my favourite one, is, true courage is pursuing your dreams even when everyone else says it's impossible. Everyone else does say it's impossible. It's the truth. And Barbie is constantly there, no, you can do this. If you want to do this for your career, or if you want to go to this place, or if you want to be this, or whatever it is, you can do that. She's constantly there, and that's That's
She
why.
builds up everyone's dreams, like Chelsea's silly dream of wanting dogs to read. She might think in her head it's such an unrealistic, silly idea and that's never going to happen, but Barbie still encourages her. She does everything to help her out and says, don't give up, it's okay. We take that message. Don't give up on what other people might think is stupid, silly, and unrealistic. You can do it, or at least give it a try. She also doesn't promise it's always going to succeed, but she says, like, just give it a try.
Yeah, because you never know what you can do until you try. Another Barbie movie quote, and there's so many. Magic happens when you believe in yourself. Oh, and guess what? The greatest thing you can be is yourself.
Yep.
And then there's...
So it's Barbie telling us not to be like her, but to be yourself.
Exactly! And, you know, in all the ways that we should be like her, that just... You know, Barbie is just good for the soul in a world that is constantly tearing you.
Collecting Barbies is good.
Yeah, yes, definitely.
Honestly, but like the thing is, not like nothing makes us happier. Because we go through a lot of dark days where we just feel down and depressed, and nothing makes us happier than just watching Barbie clips, watching Barbie's vlogs, putting on her songs. Like I work in the most depressive job, and I just sing her songs all day because that's what carries me through. Collecting dolls is one of like the things that make us
on eBay.
Yeah, looking at them on eBay, but nothing makes us happier when we have a mail day and we get a new doll. I love that so much.
Exactly, and like some days it's really hard to see the light, and you get distracted, you get caught up in all of the misery and everything like that. And who is there to help you? Barbie. You know, we can't say that for many people, real life people, especially the people that are actually around us. You know, let alone all these celebrities that you're meant to look up to because everyone else does, right? And the thing is, we talk about all these values that Barbie holds and everything that she represents in the world. And what do these celebrities do? What do the Kardashians do? They don't have any of that. They're completely empty, completely fake, and everyone's walking around completely
by their
empty.
looks and their boyfriends and children, and that's it.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I have always been someone, and Katie too, we've always wanted more for our lives. I still continue to dream for more. I want to do big things. I want to, you know, actually I want to be a performer. I want to be on the stage, and that dream has taken a lot of knocks over the years, and I think, well, how's that going to happen? You know, my circumstances, all this kind of stuff. No one encourages me that other than Katie. But then there's Barbie. She's there. She's like, no, you can do this. You can defy the odds. You know, you can make it, and don't give up. Don't settle for a mediocre life. Don't settle for the same robotic routines that everyone else goes through. You can be this career or that career or this career or that career, and you can do multiple things if you so choose, if you really want to. The quote in the Dreamhouse Adventures the other week when we're watching is, you're willing to put in the work, anything is possible. So it teaches you to work hard too. It's not just believe it and then it'll happen.
Yeah.
You know.
It's not just like things like come out of thin air.
Yeah.
You have to work hard for your dreams, but they will happen.
Yeah, I think, you know, the world is full of empty people, you know, looking up to empty people. And we look up to a doll. We look up to a fictional character but that's where we get our soul food from. That's where we get our encouragement and our strength to go on another day and to keep dreaming, because our dreams, they would die without Barbie, and that's just a fact. And I think, I don't know, to sort of wrap it up, people can continue to say all the stuff that they want to about Barbie, you know, oh, she's fake and she's this, all that stuff, just pop culture. You're just regurgitating the same stuff that you see on the internet, but you don't actually
just
look
joining
into
the masses.
Yeah, you don't actually look into what Barbie is, and you're never going to be satisfied with her, because Mattel, what they're doing with their Barbies these days, they're trying to be all inclusive and diverse and like that kind of stuff, and you're still complaining. Mattel is doing this stuff for you.
They made Barbies of all kind of weights and shapes and sizes and heights and skin colours, hair colours. Yeah. They made them in wheelchairs with prosthetics, everything.
To please the people who only care about looks.
Yeah.
And you're still not satisfied. People can probably see this and probably still not be satisfied. But, you know, we really want to get this off our chests. She just is goodness in the world where we need more goodness. And she inspires us to be like her in that way and to bring more light into this world. And we're so thankful for her. We will always love her, and we'll always rant like this. We'll always defend her forever and ever.
It's never ending.
Yeah. All your arguments towards Barbie, anything you have against her, it's weak. And it's all made up. It's all in your head. Little girls don't think that way. And when teenagers and adults, they begin to be more insecure, it is because of the world, it's because of celebrities, it's because of people like you who are constantly, you know, tearing them down. And other women too. That's the one more thing I want to say is other women constantly tearing other women down. Barbie's not about that. And
It's much easier to pin the blame on a plastic doll than to look at ourselves in the mirror and think, maybe it's what I've been saying to others that tears down their confidence. Maybe it's what I've been doing, how I don't...
and my unrealistic expectations of anything. And so just be kind to each other, and if you have kids, raise your own child. Don't depend on a doll to raise your child. I mean, of course, I think every little girl should have Barbie in their lives because that's a great example. But be an example yourself, and then think about who you're looking up to. Everyone looks up to somebody. You know, everyone is influenced by somebody. There are much worse people in the world to be influenced by than Barbie. And I don't think you can even get any better, honestly. And at the end of the day, there's nothing you can pin on Barbie. There's nothing, there's no bad thing that you can find in her, honestly. Yeah. She is good. She is everything that's good and pure and lovely and everything. And, you know, we're going to be defending her till the day we die because, you know, she means so much to us, and little girls need to have Barbie in their lives. And
they need someone positive to give them courage, to give them hope, to give them determination and confidence.
And that's what Barbie does for us and for so many. So yeah, we're not going to stand for anyone that's going to, you know, say bad things about her, because she is good in a world that really needs more of it. So we love you, Barbie, and we are so thankful for you. And yeah. All right.
We're going to go watch a Barbie movie now and be inspired.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.